What's going on, everybody? Akeem here with IGN, and welcome to What to Watch. Today, we are talking about a movie that's near and dear to my heart, Steven Universe the movie. And who better to have here in studio to talk about it than Roundtable's very own Awestruck Vox.
Hey.
How are you, dude?
I'm fantastic. I'm happy to be here. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, too. Dude, we just saw Steven Universe the movie. What are your takeaways? What are your thoughts right off the bat?
I am mind blown, first and foremost, that they were able to create this experience of a film and have it be a theatrical length. The animation is upgraded. The songs are better than ever. And it's just a great time to be a Steven fan. 2019, despite the content being very sparse, it's been significant content fed to the fans. And what more could you ask for?
Well, we didn't ask for much, but we got a whole lot. And what we got was a new villain, Spinel. Spinel, the new villain. Now, of course, Spinel, she's Pink Diamond's playmate, who she abandoned to go and start a colony on Earth, just like Pink Diamond to do that. What are your thoughts on Spinel?
I really like Spinel as a villain. Because ultimately her moral dilemma with Steven and Pink Diamond is kind of, it's a very human thing. Like when someone's left behind by a friend, you know?
Yeah.
Like Pink Diamond, for all intents and purposes, was Spinel's best friend, but Pink Diamond was just very, annoyed and just exhausted by being around Spinel. So when she got a chance to dip out, she dipped out and intentionally left her there for 6,000 years.
6,000 years. But the thing is, that's what Pink Diamond is known for. Quite honestly, to me, once we got the backstory of Spinel, I was like, you know what? This feeds into that narrative that Pink Diamond is the true villain. You know, I mean, that's what she does. She's known for throwing away her playthings when she gets bored, and she threw away Spinel. You know, and Spinel was loyal for 6,000 years. That's a long time to be loyal to someone that's never going to return.
And she didn't even know it was 6,000 years.
Right, no. She was just chilling, staring at the camera, just waiting for something to happen. She was just staring straight ahead. Not at the camera, but she was staring straight ahead. Staring at the camera. That's what I'm doing now. But she was staring straight ahead, and then, Steven dropped that Steven bomb like he's known for doing, saying yeah, what's up, everybody? I'm just gonna peace out. I'm staying here on Earth, and that's just gonna be that. Spinel, honestly, to me, I wouldn't necessarily consider her a villain, but I can understand how she could be considered a villain.
I mean, definitely, at least for the first act, she's a villain.
Yeah.
But that's what I liked about her as well, is that she's the villain in the sense of she gets the plot moving, because really she has a villainous moment towards the end when she gets her memory back, but we get this epic opening musical number battle, and then Steven poofs her, and she gets factory reset back to normal.
Right, yeah. And I don't know if you noticed the subtle nods to Disney, the 1960s era, of course, of she looked exactly like Mickey Mouse. She even had that little outline that he has, and her hair were his two ears.
Yeah, instead of the mouse ears, they were hearts.
Yeah. I really like that aesthetic because we never seen a gem in that style ever.
Something that I also liked about that was because when you look at the poster for the movie, Spinel's eyes are very different from how they appear in the film, but they progressively get like that depending on just the descent of her mental state.
Yeah.
When she's factory reset, she has again the Mickey Mouse eyes, just black dots. But then she begins to get the pink irises, and then they become the double irises towards the end.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a great detail. And just Spinel as a whole being this really cartoony character, I think it's almost like a commentary on the perception of consuming cartoons at a certain age, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now let's move on to the music of Steven Universe. Now there were 38 different tracks. Which one of the tracks were your favorite?
If I had to give a top three, it would definitely be Happily Ever After, which was kind of the opening. I think fans are probably going to refer to her as Here We Are in the Future, since that's what they say more in the song. I also like how that song is almost like a recap of the series for newcomers. You get the plot beats of Pearl, Amethyst, Garnet, Steven, of course, but it all happens in a way where things are still happening, like the plot's still moving. Like we're seeing all these characters in this new 2-year time skip where everything is different. Like they're building the town for the uncorrupted gems to live in, and we actually see some of the uncorrupted gems from the Change Your Mind throughout the film. And I like that they brought back the Heaven and Earth Beatles. For that quick cameo.
Now, I like that song, but one of my favorites, I have to say, was towards the ending, we got Let Us Adore You by the Diamonds. They were harmonizing on point. I'm all about harmonization, and they were on point with their harmony. What are your thoughts on that particular song?
I really liked it.
Yeah?
I liked the first time they broke out. Everyone in the theater just lost it.
Yes.
And then, the reprise at the end was really nice. And I think it brings the story full circle. And I think, this movie as a whole, with that song, because it's really, one of the first big musical numbers, and it's one of, the final musical numbers before, the actual finale song.
Yeah.
And it shows that this movie's kind of an epilogue to the the whole Pink Diamond dilemma, because Steven has come to terms with Pink Diamond and everything, but the Diamonds are we understand you're not Pink Diamond, you have her gemstone, but you're not Pink Diamond, but we still miss her, we still want a piece of her, and then they find Spinel, and they are able to recapture the magic of Pink Diamond without necessarily claiming someone as Pink Diamond.
There are so many unanswered questions that we have with Steven Universe, and one of them being what's in Lion's chest. Now, I didn't notice this. You pointed out to me that Lion's chest was open?
Yes. So, ever since season 1, inside the little pocket dimension within Lion's Mane, there was a treasure chest. We never knew what was in it. The first time the show directly called attention to it was in season 4, and Lion 4 alternate ending, when Steven tries using the giant key to unlock it.
Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't fit.
Of course not. Yeah. It's a giant key.
And that's the only direct now we get to it in the show. But during that opening music number Happily Ever After, when Steven is transporting from Lion to outside Large's head, he walks by the chest and it's open. It's just casually open. So there's a story to be told there.
And I feel like Rebecca Sugar, she knows that this has been an ongoing debate on the internet. She knows that we've been speculating what's in that chest for the longest time. And so I think she did this on purpose to kind of just be all right, look, it's open. So clearly, we know, or at least the crystal gems now know what's in that chest, but we, as an audience, we have absolutely no clue.
I don't think the crew knows.
You don't? Really? You think so?
I just know in the beginning of the year when the podcast for the season 5 finale, the official podcast for season 5 finale came out, they were saying that we still have debates of what's inside the treasure chest. Yeah. So that infers to me that they just don't know. It's just a fun gag to them to see people try to figure out what it is.
Now let's talk about some of the things that we were happy that we saw. Right now, I was happy that I saw the original giant woman, Opal. That made me extremely happy. Of course, we got our first male organic fusion, correct? And now why between Greg and Steven, which I was hoping they were going to go with the name Grievin, but they went with Steg, which I guess that's okay because there's, dinosaur, Stegosaurus, so I guess it kind of makes sense, so I'm okay with that. So what were your thoughts on Steven fusing with his dad?
I love that it just spontaneously happened.
Yeah. We were sitting right next to each other when it happened anyways. We're not talking about, we were both we were too excited. I jumped out of my seat. I think that was the first time throughout the film that I no, this is going to happen. No way.
Yeah, because they established that Steven's powers aren't properly working. And he's like, let's try to fuse that. It's it's going to mess up. And then it creates a beautiful anime man with a pompadour.
And not only that, but they somehow managed to fuse a guitar.
I know,
They fused a guitar. They both had 2 separate guitars, and even the guitar fused. That kind of threw me off. And then they grew abs. I wish it was that easy to grow abs.
Yeah, because you would imagine
to grow abs, you can't grow them. You got to work at it. What am I talking about?
But you would imagine that Steven and Greg, because they are both kind of a bit like pudgy people, that their fusion would be a bit pudgier. But no, he's just ripped.
Yeah, he was like you said, a beautiful anime man. So what were one of the things that you were happy to see from the film?
I mean, beyond that fusion, something that I was hoping for that we got to see was Steven's powers evolve over the time skip. In the beginning, he picks a flower, but then he puts a little bit of saliva on it, and it immediately grows back. Or when he's fighting a Spinel in the climax, he uses his bubble powers, but only on his fist.
Yes.
So, to like avoid getting damaged, pretty much, which I thought was like really cool.
Using them like boxing gloves. Yeah. But yeah, that was a really cool technique. We've never seen him do that before. So
Yeah, and when he got his powers back fully, he also summoned like 2 shields at the same time.
Yes.
I thought he was just gonna go just like full Super Saiyan. I thought his hair was gonna turn
I know,
pink.
right? Me too. Me too. Like, honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. So, like, I would love to see, because like that shield seems so damn powerful. I would love to see him go up against Captain America's shield.
Really?
Yes.
Something that I
shield
noticed.
is so powerful, man.
A really great detail that I liked is that like with his bubbles,
Yeah.
it evolved from like the bubble he normally uses to like his spiked bubbles to but then it became like polygons, like Pink Steven, like when like just his gemstone when his gemstone's removed, and when it was like stripped of like Steven's personality, the shield was just like a bunch of like fatsits and polygons. And like that happened when he was like shifting through or like powering up his shields.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is what full power Steven is signified by. Like this is the visual cue. Like his shield just kind of becomes a bunch of different facets and squares. Yeah.
One of the things that you wanted me to talk about, which I would love for you to expound upon, the redemption for Spinel. Now, what are your feelings towards the redemption arc that we saw in the movie for Spinel?
I'm really happy to see it unfold. I think that makes it like a true Steven Universe movie because, Steven Universe, like characters being redeemed goes hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, I wonder if they made it too easy just because, the Earth gets poisoned, but then Steven's like, I have my healing powers, and then it just kind of gets resolved.
Well, I mean, like, well, the thing is, like, I mean, yeah, we all saw like a redemption arc happening. We knew that was going to happen with Spinel. And I'm kind of happy with the pacing of it. The reason being because like everything that happened wasn't her fault.
Yeah.
It wasn't really her fault. She just felt like an abandoned child. That was it. She was an abandoned child.
She even says like I just came to take out some anger on people before she like actually got to know Steve and like wanted to kill him.
Yeah. And not only that, I don't know if you remember. Of course you do. But like it seemed like Steven was just using her.
Yeah.
And she even felt that.
Yeah, she even calls him out for it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, but
he's like, I got my friends over here. Like you can make new friends. You've made new friends all the time, Steven. Like why can't it didn't seem like he really wanted to be friends with her. He just wanted to utilize her so that the Earth wouldn't be destroyed.
I mean, he kind of clarifies it once Spinel is like, fully redeemed and calmed down. But, throughout the film, he's like, I want my happily ever after back. And that happily ever after doesn't include Spinel. But, like, once he goes through the motions of the story, he realizes that, like, there's always going to be, like, bigger fish to fry. There's always going to be, like, another conflict to solve.
Yeah.
So I think that was more or less even just being like, well, if this gem goes away, things will go back to normal. So I definitely think that played into his just being very resistant to befriending Spinel, because he was pretty much just like, hey, let's talk things out so you can go. It wasn't
right,
like,
exactly, yeah. Like, go where? So she can go stand for like another 6,000 years? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, Steven. Jeez, she needs a home too. What are one of the things that you wish you saw in the film?
Definitely something with Jasper, but also just more of Homeworld. Like, we know that Homeworld is improving, it's better, but I actually wanted to see it. I wanted to see Steven like explore more of Homeworld. But who knows? That might be what comes next.
I don't know. This might polarize the audience a little bit. I kind of wish I saw the death of a character. Like I wanted them to bring it up to like Endgame status. You know what I mean? Like Infinity War status with like what they were gonna do. I mean, because like if you think about it, like Steven, he has the power to heal.
Yeah.
So he could have brought back anyone that would have died, and it would have just become pink. And been like, I guess, like he can jump through their hair. You know what I mean? I know that's probably asking for a lot, but I just really wanted to like my emotional strings to be tugged at a little bit more.
I think
what I mean?
I think if they ever pull that off, it's gonna be like in a finale, like season finale in the show.
Onion character development. I know that's kind of weird to say, because Onion is just, he's just like a background character. But honestly, even though I knew they weren't going to do anything with Onion, like any sort of like character development.
Yeah, I'm surprised that with a 2-year time skip, Onion still looks the same.
He still looks the same. He hasn't aged. Well, actually, if you think about it, Most of the humans in Beach City still look the same, though.
But it makes sense because a lot of them are older. Like they're, preteen, not preteens. They're like late teens or adults. I think all the cool kids now are like probably in their 20s. So it makes sense like why they don't look too different from high school.
Right.
But like Onion is like a kid. Like kids, they look older
they
every
grow
year.
up.
Yeah,
that's
so
the thing.
it's like,
if Steven can grow up, why can't Onion? You know,
I mean, I get it's probably just like a dumb gag on their part. Like, this is just funny, but
Of course,
of course, my conspiracy brain is like Onion's also half alien, like Steven.
yeah,
So.
okay, all right. Let's not start that conspiracy here. Now Jasper. I wish I saw Jasper in the film.
I think they intentionally left Jasper out. The only
Yeah.
time we see her is like in the opening like recap with like all the other previous antagonists of the series. But if you notice, Bismuth does have a new form, which means she was poofed sometime off screen, and she is hanging out with Peridot and Lapis, who both have a history of Jasper, so it makes you think that maybe there's a story there.
Right, yeah, no, of course. That needs to be fleshed out somehow. Season 6 predictions. Now, do we think there's going to be a season 6? Now, because I know Ian Jones-Cordy said on the Steven Universe podcast pertaining to the Change Your Mind episode, and I quote, "This isn't the end of the Steven Universe franchise, but the end to this particular story we started writing back in 2011," which means that the whole story arc with finding out who Steven's mom is, who Pink Diamond is, and then getting a reveal of the diamonds, that story arc is complete. So now, where do they go?
Well, Cartner did say that like the movie's not the end of the franchise.
Yeah.
Like, there's more Steven to come. I think certainly with any series, like when you hit that intended end, there's gonna be unanswered questions. There's gonna be like a lot more to do. But I think Steven Universe is in a lucky position where they're able to actually do those things that are left to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, things with Jasper, like her possible redemption. How does she feel in a post like war era? Because like for Jasper, like she was a character where like the gem war was never like really over. But how does she feel now, like that she knows that Rose Quartz was Pink Diamond, that like the person she hated the most was also the person she was serving,
Right.
the person that like she thought she was going to avenge. And of course, just like Homeworld's Era 3, like what happens now with like the human zoo, like what happens to those humans, what happens with like any gems that were punished for how Homeworld was before like Steven came along and like changed everything. What happens with like whoever created the gems, like who did create the gems? How do they feel that like they're not doing their intended purpose anymore?
Right. So there is a likelihood that season 6 is going to happen because there's so many stories left untold.
I mean,
would it be safe to say that? I know we're not going to be breaking that news because like we don't know, and it's pure speculation on our part.
It's pure speculation, but at the same time, like, you can find the voice actors saying the word season 6 out there.
Right, exactly. And not only that, but look at Teen Titans Go to the Movies. They had a theatrical release for that. And they came back and they still were airing episodes. So like episodes that happened after the film. So it's even had a straight to DVD release, right? Of Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. And so they're still going strong. So I feel like it would be weird for Cartoon Network to kind of just end it here.
Yeah.
Because the ending was not an ending where it's like, oh wow, okay, that wrapped up nicely, you know?
Yeah, it was just like, this story, this chapter is done.
Right, yeah, they closed the curtains. Like they literally closed the curtains. So it's like there's no way that this is the end of Steven. I refuse to believe it.
The show is really popular, and I think they want to keep it going just a little bit longer.
Yes, and I wish I could keep this conversation going a little bit longer because Awestruck Vox, you are amazing. A really good friend of mine. I'm so happy you were able to join me, man.
I feel the same way.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing me on.
Of course, dude. I love the Roundtable. I love everything that you do. We even have similar hairstyles.
That's true.
We are the same person.
He brought this thing here to kill me.
We're dealing with 41 hours until the destruction of all organic life on Earth.
That's enough!
Awestruck Vox from the Roundtable. Dude, thank you for joining me. And thank you guys for watching. We'd love to know what you guys think. Let us know what you thought of Steven Universe, the movie, down below in the comments section. And for all things, everything else, keep it right here on IGN.com.